All right. Jeremiah and Haley each made their own yo-yos. The string on Jeremiah's yo-yo is 1 1/4 feet long. The string on Haley's yo-yo is 2 2/3 times as long as Jeremiah's string. How long is the string on Haley's yo-yo? So the number sentence with units, right? First I'm asking myself, what's the multiplier? I know the multiplier is going to be 2 2/3. And as a convention, we know that we write the multiplier first. And this is with units, so we're talking about 1 1/4 feet. Without units, it'd be 2 2/3 times 1 1/4. Right? Will the answer to the problem be more or less than 1 1/4 feet? Well, 2 2/3, the multiplier is greater than 1. So if I'm multiplying a number that's greater than 1 by another number that's greater than 1, then yes. Now we have this all at once meaning, which some of you were asking about. So the all at once meaning simply means that I'm going to take the multiplier, 2 2/3, and I'm using the multiplier as one improper fraction to write the meaning of this number sentence. So the multiplier is 2 2/3, so as an improper fraction, it'll be 8/3. So the all at once meaning, I can write 8/3 of, well, 1 1/4 feet is the same as 5/4 feet. So I could write 8/3 of 5/4, but it might make more sense to write 8 copies of 1/3 of 5/4. Okay, I'm using the multiplier as a one improper fraction to give the meaning of the number sentence. Now, let's solve it. So, a diagram that would follow the all at once meaning. First, let's draw the BMU. I know that this is a fourth. Oops. Okay, so I need 8 copies of 1/3 of 5/4. So, what's 1/3 of 5/4? Let's draw out 5/4 first. Oops, that could be a little bit better. And now I need to know what is 1/3 of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into thirds. Right, so this row is like 1/3 of 5/4. This is another third of 5/4, and this is another third of 5/4. But I'm only talking about one of these rows. How many measuring units are in this row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I have to figure out like what this is. And how I figure out what this is I relate it back to my BMU. And my original BMU is this right here. So how many of those pieces fit into one whole? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because that was this piece right here that I just circled was my original BMU. So 1/3 of 5/4 is 5/12. But I need 8 copies of that. So I would need to draw 8 of those. That's going to be pretty tough. Well, let's do it. Right, so I'm drawing 8 copies of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we know that each of these rows is 5/12. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 twelfths. Or that'd be 3 and 4 twelfths, or 3 and 1/3. So, by-place meaning. The by-place meaning separates the multiplier into parts by place value. So I'm going to just jot that. You're separating the multiplier into parts by place value. So the multiplier is 2 and 2/3 here. So if I want to separate that by place value, I can say first find 2 copies of 1 and 1/4, and then find 2/3 copy, or 2/3 of 1 and 1/4. So my diagram will look a little bit different. Here's my BMU. Here's 1/4. Now I know I have 2 copies of 1 and 1/4. So if this is 1/4, then 1 and 1/4 would be like 5 of these. But remember, I need 2 copies of that. Okay, each of these is a 1/4. So I have 2 copies of 1 and 1/4 so far. Now I need 2/3 copies of 1 and 1/4. So I'll draw another 1 and 1/4. But I'm not taking the whole thing. I need 2/3 of it. So I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to split it into 3 sections, and this will be 1/3, this will be another third, and this will be another third. Now 2/3 of 1 and 1/4 would be 2 of those rows. How many measuring units is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when I fit this back into the BMU, remember my BMU was this much. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm working with twelfths. So 2/3 of 1 and 1/4 is 10 twelfths. So now I take 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 1/4, which is the same thing as 2 and 2/4, plus this 10 over 12. I know that I need common denominators, so if I change this to twelfths, it would be 6 twelfths. So I would have 2 and 6 twelfths plus 10 twelfths. That's the same thing as 2 and 16 twelfths, which is the same thing as 3 and 4 twelfths, or 3 and 1/3. And that's that.